put in your hand. This is it, guys. No! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Council and to episode 4, part 1. This is deep in the story. If you have somehow missed the previous installments, go check them out. If you have watched them all, thank you for joining me. We're going to pick up where we left off. You remember last video of this game ended with Louis losing his hand at the crypt entrance. And today, we begin episode 4. And we have to start this in a boring way, admittedly, guys. And to start this, we have to actually choose books. I think I'm going to go with 2 logic and 1 diversion. If you look at my character, I've already got some points in diversion. I don't have, all these books don't relate to any categories I'm trying to level up. So let us begin where we left off. Missing hand and all.
I sense that Mr. Peru is about to surprise us too.
I believed in him. I followed him to the best of my ability. I championed his ideas, defended his decisions, and then, without even realizing it, I became lost.
Now that I've told you everything, you want to take my place, do you? No. I am Emily. You are wasting your time. Louis knows very well how to tell us apart.
Someone had the bang coming from the Duchess's room, and she isn't answering.
Louis, you really must learn to conceal your weaknesses better, if you don't want your foes to use them against you.
Our desire is to steer the destiny of our respective countries for the good of all, and to no longer suffer the random hazards of history.
It is the natural order of things, Monsieur de Richet. There have always been men who govern other men. That is simply the way it is.
History forgets them with a disconcerting facility. No one speaks about them, and yet they whisper in the ears of kings and presidents.
Once again, guys, a surreal scene where every character in the story appears to start a new episode. We, of course, are exactly where we left off. We will be here with our mother, Sarah. All of these people are just here to refresh your memory.
I'm going to open this damn door and skin you alive. You're not going to get the better of us.
She's going to lose her other hand.
Mother?
Louis, you've come around. How do you feel?
It hurts. Mother? I can't feel my arm.
Louis, I had to cauterize it with what I could find.
Where's my arm?
We'll get through this, Louis. Don't worry. I think I found a solution. You'll see.
We gotta leave. No, don't put your arm in there.
Louis, we can't leave without it. It's our last chance. I need to see this through to the end. I must do it.
She's gonna lose her other one. Come on, Mom. I was off by 1 moon, by the way, guys. I know what I did wrong.
We've done it, Louis. Look.
Stubborn as a mule.
Come on, up you get. I'll help you. Easy does it. You've lost a lot of blood.
And now what?
Let's take what we came for.
I want to know how she managed to open it.
Wait. I've gotta know what I did wrong.
That is one fearsome mechanism. In fact, if I hadn't watched you beforehand, I would never have found the right combination.
Tell me, where did I go?
I know this, guys. So there's a wheel. I got 2 of the wheels perfect, and I used the armillary sphere to determine which moon we needed to select. It was waxing gibbous, I believe. I sadly counted clockwise from the full moon, or from the new moon, and I needed to go counterclockwise. I was 1 away from a full moon, but I went 1 to the wrong side. I was waning gibbous, not waxing gibbous, I think. And so I screwed up. I know the answer, but let's see what Mama says.
Wrong?
First the nails, then the iris at the end. Tell me, where did I go wrong? I know the first and the second.
But I had linked the theme of the crucifixion to its date, its place, and its symbol.
You know, I didn't do any better than you on the first go, and it took 2 failures to get it right. You needed the middle disk of the lunar calendar, I think. To conclude, I had to use the armillary sphere to find the moon corresponding to the day of the crucifixion. which turned out to be in the first quarter.
No.
All that was left to do was to link all those elements on the same axis.
Okay, so I am wrong. I thought I would have got it wrong twice had she let me do that, guys. Oh gosh. Okay, so now we walk through this door. What is supposed to be on the other side of this door is a key to defeating the demons that are Mortimer and Holm. And oh my god, one of the coolest environments we've seen in the whole game. Screenshot. Too late. What is this place?
But where are we?
I don't know, but we better not hang around.
Okay, so what we're gonna do here, guys, this is Carmelite water. That gets rid of my, okay. I don't know, but we better not hang around. What did she think?
Do you know what we're looking for?
We have to find that weapon. What do you know about the Holy Lance, Louis?
The what?
The
Longinus.
Lance of Longinus the Centurion.
Okay, guys, so if you paid attention in episode 2, this was a major plot point. Piazzi and von Vulner have been bringing them for Lord Mortimer. We're going to do this.
Yes, the centurion that pierced the side of Christ with his lance. That weapon naturally became a holy relic.
Exactly.
Seriously? You don't really believe that fable, do you?
Every fable is founded on true events. I'm not saying that everything adds up, but imagine if it really did exist.
Very well. Now what?
Well, now you know what you need to find.
Pardon?
I have to get to the wharf to prepare our departure. Let's get off this cursed island as quickly as we can. We shall come back when we are ready and armed.
But hang on.
Louis, let's first get to safety. We shall come back when we have the upper hand. Fear not. You take care of getting the lance. It's imperative. I'll take care of preparing our departure.
Hang on. At least tell me everything you know about this lance.
But I have never seen it. There's nothing else I can say, Louis. Well, you can always go snooping around Mortimer's study. I remember seeing paintings of Longinus there.
I think I already know this. So let's stop
All right.
here.
We'll do it your way.
One more thing. If they find you in possession of the lance, they won't let you get away with it. Choose only one and hide it under your jacket so you don't get caught with it.
Oh,
Then
yes.
run and meet me on the wharf.
And if I get caught?
If they catch you in possession of the lance, we're all doomed. Do you understand?
Perfectly.
Good. And go talk to Piaggi. He's the one who probably knows the most about this.
Okay. So how am I going to do that without arising some suspicion? My hand is missing. We know that. Now, guys, on the Spear of Longinus, this is an item. It was used to pierce the side of Christ when he was on the cross. I think, was that an act of mercy? Let's remember how to jog. I think it was an act of mercy. But I don't know, and I'm not a biblical scholar by any means. And the thing is, Mortimer has been collecting them for a long time. He's literally got dozens of lances that may be the Holy Lance. So this is
the sarcophagus is engraved with the name of Clemens III.
Clement.
Good God.
Clement.
The one whose cross allowed me to enter.
Guys, we are in trouble. I do not have a whole lot of points to spend.
This sarcophagus is beautifully made, but ancient. Stone is marked by the passage of time, but it's really well preserved.
Okay. All right. So, the Holy Lance. Let's at least wonder, guys. What I'm imagining is that this is going to be an Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade type thing. She said, choose only one and hide it under your coat. You remember the end of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade? Where the guy drinks out of the wrong cup and he becomes an ancient old man instead of getting the gift of the whatever it's called, endless life. He gets instead instant death. He becomes old in an instant because he chose a glorious golden bejeweled cup.
This one has no name. I wonder who it was for.
And instead, Christ, of course, was a carpenter. His cup was humble. It was simple. And Indy and that smoking hot Nazi chick picked the right cup, and they do it. And so I'm imagining we have the exact same situation. Let's look around. This was a dead end. Has to be out in this direction. Let's familiarize ourselves with this location, and then I suppose we should return, talk to Piaggi, talk to von Vulner, talk to, or visit Mortimer's study. I think those would be the things. But we are deep in a crypt now, guys, a hidden crypt. And if you look around us, the environment is quite cool. This is the most unique environment we have seen in the game. It's wild. We're under the mansion, I suppose? I don't know where we are. Are we supposed to be in a huge cave? I guess? Okay, guys. This certainly won't be it. This is the first one I have come across.
Let's take a look at this lance here. It has a very special leaf shape. It is copper-rimmed, and I can see a fish symbol engraved on the tip.
Interesting. Okay, we're going to leave that. Now, look at the cross directly above us, guys. That has got to be symbolic. So the cross is above us. Will there be a cross above every lance? No. Copper with rounded edges and a fish, which was a symbol of Jesus.
I can see this lance has a spear shape. It is copper-rimmed, and it has been engraved with the symbol of the Christian fish on the tip.
Okay, the exact same description. Interesting. Alright, there are going to be, what, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15? How many of these are we going to stumble on? I see 2 at the moment. And I have yet to find a whole lot of power-ups and bonuses and whatnot. I'm hoping we find a few.
The sarcophagus of Lord Mortimer.
This would be a spot to use a point.
It's the only sarcophagus in this crypt which appears to bear the Mortimer family name. What ancestor can it be? There's no inscription. Let's see what we can find here.
Ah, god dang. This is the perfect opportunity.
Great. Now let's see what's inside.
Royal jelly. Okay, that's great. Okay, so we used 1. We got amber fragments, and we got 2 royal jelly out of that. So that's a steal. So as far as I can tell, there are only 2 spears. 1 more right here. Oh, I see. Okay. Hold on. I think there will be 4. Another.
This lance has a leaf shape. It is copper-rimmed. The symbol of the Christian fish is engraved on the tip.
How will we be able to tell these apart? There are clues we are missing. There's another one here.
I can see that this lance has the shape of a boar spear. The blade is partially coated in copper, and I can just make out the symbol of the Eye of Ra engraved on the tip.
Alright, so this one stands out as being distinctly different from the others. And so there was 1 there, then 2, 3, and 4, and I think that is it. I haven't asked this in this series before, but why don't you guys click the like button? I feel like episode 1 we could probably get to like 40 likes if I ask you nicely. But I'm headed to go find Piaggi. Nothing will turn me around this time, and I will be right back, guys. Okay, guys, so I have another opportunity. I have come back to the crypt here, and there is a Bible here, so I could spend 3 points to remember or find a clue. It's probably going to be pointless. Let's do this first.
4 Gospels each give an account of the death of Christ. Let's see what they can tell me about the lance.
Alright, guys, so I think the only Gospel that contains anything is
there.
John's.
When they came to Jesus and saw that he was dead already, they broke not his legs. But one of the soldiers with a shimmering lance pierced his side, and forthwith there came out blood and water. And he that saw it bore witness, and his record is true, and he knoweth that he saith true, that ye might believe.
A shimmering lance? What is this telling me?
Here's what I'm worried about, guys. Know who it is might just tell me, oh, Longinus is the guy. Find a clue as to what the lance looks like. Shimmering, they're all copper. The 4 we found are all copper, so I don't feel like that's worth our limited points. We kind of got to be careful. We're deep in this game now. Is there anything here? Item added to inventory. Oh, we can take back the nails. I could return those. Okay. We have the armillary sphere. We have the Bible. Okay, perfect. Well, let's head back upstairs. Guys, I don't think we're finding anything in the wings here. Whatever, we'll be back down here. I'm going to try to show you the key bits of the story and to save you a little time here and there by cutting out me running around trying to find people. So let's do that. Where's Piaggi? Let's go get him. That wasn't too difficult, guys. We have found him. And he is going to ask very quickly about our hand. I also want to talk to von Vulner. If Piazzi doesn't send me there, I think we'll make a point of doing that. But he was easy to find today, wasn't he?
Your Eminence, would you have a moment to spare?
Not now, Louis. Please, leave me alone.
I beg your pardon?
I want to be alone.
Very well. I'm only searching for information about the lance of Longinus, the soldier. If you could...
You are not listening to me. You are playing with fire.
I heard you speak to Mr. von Vulner about it, and I was wondering if you could tell me something about it.
That was a private conversation. How could I have known that he was listening to us?
I see what you mean.
Louis.
Your Eminence, are you all right?
He's jumping, guys. He is
Your Eminence, are you with me?
jumping.
Can you turn around, please?
What do you want to know about the Holy Lance, Louis?
Your Eminence, turn around.
Longinus thrust his lance in the right side of Jesus.
Please.
As you wish.
What is going on? He hasn't looked at the hand. Okay, right here. Vigilance.
His nose is bleeding.
So, you are looking for the Holy Lance of Longinus, are you?
Okay, big moment here, people. Freebie skill, and let's diagnose the old fool.
You're worrying me. What is happening to you?
Nothing, Louis. Just a moment of weakness, but I'm better now. I am all ears. You are looking for the lance. You should know, you are not the only one. Lord Mortimer has spent a good part of his life and his fortune trying to find it. Never will he let you have it. But tell me, before going any further, have you spoken to anyone else about this?
Okay, so that's cheap for me. So let's do it.
No, Your Eminence. I thought you'd be the only one able to help me with it.
Your words lack conviction.
Uh-oh.
If I'm asking you all these things, it's for your own good, you know. You have no reason to lie to me. Imagine you find it, which I don't doubt, given how resolute you are when you've got something on your mind. Then what? What are you going to use the lance for, exactly?
If I told you why I needed this lance, you would never believe it.
Trust me, you can tell me anything.
It's our only chance to vanquish the demons.
Oh, my dear God, Louis. You sound just like Sarah. Do you realize you are following the same path, step by step? Sarah also started by imagining things. She, too, spoke of demons, I am told. She could no longer speak to anyone, and saw a hidden monster in every guest, lurking in the shadows, ready to devour her. You must let us help you. Louis, I thank you for your sincerity. I shall answer you about Longinus. You deserve to be told. His spear-headed lance did indeed pierce the side of the Messiah. His blood gushed out, covering the head of the lance. It was covered in the blood of Christ.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Eminence.
You are welcome. Be careful, Louis. You are on a perilous path. Don't follow Sarah's demons, my boy. Don't delve too deeply into her delusions, or you won't be able to come back. The demons that she is frantically trying to drive away are in her own mind. Take good care of yourself. God keep you.
Okay, guys, that was a weird encounter. Okay. So, search for more clues or go pick one spear. I don't think he gave us anything. that could tell us about the spear, except to say that it was completely covered in blood. Maybe the shape of the spear relates to that boar spear might not do that because of the grooves built into it or something like that. I am really not certain. I had to cure 2 negative alterations during that. One from taking the golden elixir in order to get that free skill use on his bloody nose, and another because we ran into his immunity. You can't convince him with conviction. So fascinatingly, man. So Mom believes that there are demons, and that these demons are not only Mortimer and Home, but that they can jump from person to person at will. And she promised me to be very careful who I told things to. There was a moment in that confrontation where Piazzi changed. His tone changed.
Don't push it. Leave while you still can. This is the weapon used by a Roman centurion on the very day Christ was nailed to the cross.
He went from seeming like he was about to jump off to turning around and going, I'm fine, and he had a bloody nose. The bloody nose we have only seen once in this story, and that is when Louis is having a vision. Those visions always involve Gregory Home, for one. They also involve, and we should look around here for artistic depictions of the crucifixion, and the last time I had one of those, guys, I was inside Manuel Godoy, and he said something to, that's a crucifixion, but not of Jesus. He said something to his, to Home that made me think that Home knew I was there looking through the eyes of Godoy, and I snapped right out of it. And I'm wondering if Home, who we first met in this room, I'm wondering if, could he have jumped into Piaggi there? His demon? Could he have just, zipped in there and asked me what I want to do with the lance? I mean, the lance is from Mortimer. And Mortimer and Holmes seem to be opposed to each other, at least in some ways. Huh. Alright, guys, so I don't remember this being part of the conversation, but Piaggi told me it was the shape of a boar spear. I think there were at least 2 with a similar shape. There was only one that Louis described as a boar spear, but there were 2 that had that sort of blade shape. So we will go find more clues. I think this is dangerous, but the wrong person seeing us without a hand is going to throw everything off. But if my theory is right, then the demons can be anywhere at any time, and they're probably going to see us without a hand. So we might as well see where we're able to go. This is the room of von Vulner. Good pick, I think, except to know that
he isn't here.
He's in line with Gregory Home. They are pals, and he found the Necronomicon for old Holmesy.
What a mess. Looks like Vulner was interrupted. Looks a lot like straw, and he's drawn something in a hurry on this sheet.
The council. God, I want to do all these. But we don't have the stats, really.
I get the feeling that I've seen that somewhere before.
That symbol? Yeah. We're not going to spend these points. Johann, I know you are trying to find out what happened to Elizabeth, but it's getting out of hand now. Your escapade on the continent cost me enough as it is. I know it hasn't been easy for you leaving Elizabeth confined in a room for a month so she doesn't bump into Sarah, but to run away without warning? I had to lie to cover you, Johann. Act as if you arrived separately only a few days ago and persuade William to do the same with his guests. I demand that you come to your senses and take hold of yourself. I asked you to fetch something so that we can get it off the island, not for to study it in the vain hope of acquiring power. It won't give you any answers, let me be clear. At most, we run the risk of losing it again. So for the last time, please go and leave it at the agreed place. I can confirm someone will pick it up immediately. That is a reference to the book, the Necronomicon, the Al-Azif. He got it from, he found it, and he found it for Home.
So, let's see what Wollner has in his bookcase. I don't know where to begin. I've never heard of most of these works. I've never heard of most of these works.
Oi, hello.
Richet?
Damn, That's all I need. Maybe he knows something about the lance.
What happened? You've lost. Oh, how horrible. Your hand.
It's an accident. To tell you the truth,
An accident? Are you joking? You have lost your hand, Louis. We've got to do something.
It's been done. I've been given treatment, rest assured. I admit that I didn't truly realize the consequences of my recklessness. So just stay calm.
Yes, of course. But Louis, it's your hand.
I know. Please, look, there's nothing I can do about it. I know, I made a mistake, but it's too late now. It was an accident. I only wanted to inspect the place to find my mother and, well, I fell into a trap. The result is appalling, I grant you that, but at least I can guarantee that we're all perfectly safe here on this island.
And you joke about it? Am I dreaming?
No, sir, but let's be realistic. So many world leaders brought together in one place, and there are no safeguards? The error indeed stems from my recklessness. I went looking here and there in search of my mother, and I had an accident. It's my own fault.
Fine. We will drop this incident. Why are you here? What are you doing in my room?
Okay, so, let us take a moment and do what we should have done last time and check our journal on Johann von Vulner. Vulnerable to diversion. That is manipulation, not diversion. But it's a freebie for old UTC.
Sir, perfect timing. I was looking for you.
You were looking for me? Well, here I am. What can I do for you?
I was wondering if you might help me.
You're the one looking for the lance.
No,
Don't take me for a fool. You are looking for the holy lances.
That's a freebie as well, guys. Psychology. I wonder if we should do this. You think he's immune to psychology? Does he seem like he would be? No. I think this will work.
What's the matter? You seem completely panicked at the idea I might be interested in this relic.
No, that's not true.
What are you so afraid of?
I'm not afraid.
You know Mortimer's got it, so you're not worried that I'd give it back to him.
What are
so
you?
Why are you so terrified of me being able to find it?
You have no idea what it is you're looking for. What are you playing at, Richet? Mortimer's the one who has that cursed lance.
How long have you been looking for it?
I see. You want it, and so you plan to steal it from Mortimer.
For a long time. Isn't that right?
Why, you little swine! You're planning to give it to Sir Gregory. You're looking to double-cross me and Piazzi too.
What on earth is he talking about?
Okay, guys, so some of these are cheap for me. I think with subterfuge... Man, I really think... Okay, let's take a second, guys, and look at the stats. I really think that every stat that man is going to have, all of his skills are going to be on things like occultism. He's going to be good at occultism and... subterfuge. Probably. So, etiquette, for 1 point.
Mr. von Vulner, would you be so kind as to calm yourself down, please? All I'm trying to do is make amends for His Eminence's errors. Sir Gregory should surround himself with better people if you want my opinion, but Piaggi is a friend of my mother's.
What? You want to help Piazzi?
I just told you that's what my mother would do if she was here. I heard you in the corridor and he seemed to be in serious trouble because of the lances. I'm only trying to help him.
All right, Louis. I thought you were trying to manipulate me. But please, excuse me. I got a little bit carried away. But you can't get ahead by staying in the shadows on a case like this. There are already several of us searching for the Lance of Longinus. And it would be smarter to pool our information.
Unfortunately, I've barely made any progress. I'm still trying to find out what the original lance really looked like.
Let me reassure you, we've all been there, given the number of copies there are in existence. It also took us quite some time to discover its true shape. Many believe the central part of the head of the lance to be covered in gold, whereas, in truth, its center is made of an alloy of copper and iron.
That does make sense. In those times, a centurion wouldn't have any chance of possessing a lance made of gold.
Ah, that is the perversion of Christian idolatry. A copper lance could not have been noble enough to pierce the side of Christ.
Anyway, thank you, sir.
You're welcome, Louis. Keep me posted as to your research. We're bound to end up recovering it.
I'm counting on it. See you later.
Okay, now that that's over, I should point out that's one of the worst scripts of the game. That little interaction where like Louis talking about the hand and it's no big deal, and I generally, people in the very beginning of reviews of this game criticized the storytelling and the voice acting, like those conversations, but I really didn't. That one seemed kind of stupid. All right, guys, who will we see at the top of these stairs? I feel pretty confident I could pick the spear out, but I feel like we ought to visit here. There are at least 2 references to Longinus in this study. This is one of them.
Saint Longinus. Let's take a closer look at his lance. It is shaped like a leaf, like the real lance, maybe. How can I be sure?
Okay, so we don't think that is right.
No, this is too easy. Mortimer's trying to throw me off the track again. It seems too visible to be true. Impossible not to see the statue on first glance, given its size. And Mortimer has no interest in making the shape of the true lance so easy to see.
There is also a painting of Longinus on the wall. There is a Bible here we've never been able to read, and still can't. But in his office, and he is not here, good, very good, there is a crucifixion picture, right? There, man with lance. It's a boar spear, I think.
Adoration of the Shepherds with Saints Longinus and John, Giulio Romano, 1534. Longinus is holding the Holy Lance in his left hand, and I'll bet he's holding the sponge-soaked in holy blood in the other hand. Yes! Here we can see that the Holy Lance is represented in the shape of a spear. I'd better make sure I check this twice. It's a work that dates from the Renaissance, and there's nothing to say that it's not based on erroneous elements.
Okay, freebie.
This work is an order from Lord Mortimer. All the details have been conceived with a specific goal in mind. Upon closer examination, you can see that even the style clashes with that of most of the other works in the manor. No, if Mortimer has taken special care as the conception and the exhibition of this painting in his study, in the same way as for the nightmare painting, it must be of some significance. And that is indeed the true shape of the Holy Lance, a spear shape. There's only one way of being sure. I'll have to find other clues that will confirm this information.
All right, guys, so we are in an interesting position here. Very interesting. There's not much of the manor left to us undiscovered. Artistic depictions we have found. Specialists in esotericism, we have found 2 of each of those. Sacred texts, There was the one Bible in the crypt. Beyond that, I don't know where I would find another sacred text except in Mortimer's hidden trophy room. Now, the problem with that is that, as far as I can tell, the Medusa statues and the fireplace are inoperable at the moment. You cannot re-enter that space where he has a secret room hidden. So I think we're out of luck. Or not out of luck, but I think we're out of searching. According to von Vulner's information, the lance is copper-rimmed. The exegesis mentions a shining metal. Piazzi told me it was the shape of a boar spear. In the painting of Longinus, I noticed that it had the shape of a spear. I noticed on the painting of Longinus that it had the shape of a spear, which is what Mortimer's opinion confirmed. And then the statue of Longinus shows it in the shape of a leaf. I feel like we have been everywhere there is to go. I have searched the rooms. I have spoken to the people. All that's left is to return, I think, to the crypts and to choose a spear. And that's how we're going to end episode 4, part 1. The familiar sound of footsteps echoing off the crypt walls. We are back here, guys. Mom is preparing our trip on the boats, which used to be visible on this map. You used to be able to see from the crypts. You could also see where the boats were kept. You can no longer. That's a change they've made. Okay, let's have a quick tour around. I see nothing of value. Okay, don't worry about it then. I have come back, guys, to the Gospel according to John. Okay. This is an opportunity to use one of my skills. That cost me 3, that cost me 3. Let's do this.
Medieval Hermetic traditions evoke the idea of using noble materials for relics, which the monasteries often made themselves in order to attract pilgrims. Of course, they had to inspire greatness. So here, we might think of gold, whereas a centurion could not have hoped for anything better than copper at the time. The true lance would not have been a luxurious weapon.
Okay, I think we know everything we need to know. Let's return to these crypts and pick a spear. And here we are, geeks. The moment of truth. A leaf-shaped spear. A spear-shaped spear. Another spear-shaped spear. And another leaf-shaped spear. So we will ignore the 2 leaf spears. And we will decide between this one here and this one here.
I can see this lance has a spear shape, it is copper-rimmed, and it has been engraved with the symbol of the Christian fish on the tip.
Only copper-rimmed. What about the center of iron and...
I can see that this lance has the shape of a boar spear. The blade is partially coated in copper, and I can just make out the symbol of the Eye of Ra engraved on the tip.
The Eye of Ra. Okay. Von Vulner made a point of saying the lance is copper-rimmed.
I can see that this lance has the shape of a boar spear. The blade is partially coated in copper, and I can just make out the symbol of the Eye of Ra engraved on the tip.
Partially coated in copper.
I can see this lance has a spear shape, it is copper-rimmed, and it has been engraved with the symbol of the Christian fish on the tip.
But the real key is that this has the symbol of the Eye of Ra, and that has a Christian symbol. Would the spear that stabbed Jesus have a Christian symbol? The only one that doesn't is this one. Alright guys, I'm not ready to make the decision. I'm going to call this part of the playthrough here. So this is the end of part 1 of episode 4. I'm going to edit and release this and get a little feedback in the comments before I make a choice. Is it the spear with the Eye of Ra or the spear with the Christian symbol? Let me know what you think in the comments. If you haven't done it yet, click the like button and let's aim for like 40 of those. That would be fantastic. That's it. Thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you in part 2 of episode 4.